All righty. Welcome everybody to another ASEA Global Expansion Team Zoom. We've just had the North American Envision conference, and man, what a conference that was. They announced a new promotion, which we'll be going over tonight, as well as recapping some of what was spoken about during the Envision concert by the event, the Envision, I don't know where I got concert. Maybe my hopes and dreams, I want to be in a concert someplace, somewhere. The ASEA event, you know, in the old days, we had meet ASEAs and we had fly-ins. And that's where people drove in or flew in from different places on the planet to learn about ASEA from an up close and personal perspective. And they were lucky enough to meet the founder of ASEA and the CFO of ASEA and the COO of ASEA and listen to about the science of ASEA, but really get a feeling for the corporate people that we are partnering with as individual independent entrepreneurs. And I'll tell you what, this Envision conference was basically that. You really got to meet and take an inside look at who is running the ASEA corporate show that we are partnering with. So you got a real global view of what ASEA is doing in the world. One of our mottos is to be a force for good in the world. And Chuck Funke's presentation on the ASEA Advancing Life Foundation really just gave you goosebumps on all of the things that we're doing to make the world a better place. Just helping people out in situations and really not expecting anything in return. We've built a school, the first vocational school in rural Ecuador, as well as provided clean water in Cambodia, as well as rescuing little kids from human trafficking and putting these monsters that are trafficking them behind bars. We're also training dogs to find the evidence so that we can convict these monsters, put them behind bars so that they can't repeat their offenses. So anyway, ASEA is doing incredible, incredible things in the world. One of the talks that I mean, Jerem Webb gave an incredible overview of where ASEA is going. We have a very clear path of where we're going, and we have the infrastructure in place to be able to deliver on that vision. So I don't know if you're brand new with ASEA or if you've been with ASEA for a while, but ASEA has spent 8 years setting up global infrastructure to handle the volume and the business that's coming. And a lot of network marketing companies in general, don't have that foresight or maybe the financial stability to be able to do that. But ASEA has set up global infrastructure to prepare for the growth that's coming. And so the strategy that's in place and the real partnership between network marketing and Fortune 50 corporate America, it was extremely evident during the North American Envision conference. And I know when Tyler started the conference, challenging us to think about the way we want to lead and the legacy we want to leave. And he challenged us to try to encapsulate that vision in 6 words, in a 6-word vision statement. And so many of us took him up on that challenge and wrote those 6 words down and emailed or texted them into Tyler so that he could see really our vision of the way we want to lead and the legacy we want to leave. And Scott Aldred gave us insight into the progress that's being made at the production facility as a result of COVID. It's been an incredible blessing because instead of shooting all over the world on many, many trips as we've done in the past, we were forced to stay closer to home. And so the Redox Center that is in our production center has been very, very busy. And what we've learned about our technology, our very proprietary Redox technology, has been extremely eye-opening. So there will be some things unveiled in the weeks and months to come that are really, really super exciting. Remember that ASEA is the only redox company in the world and the only company that has been able to take salt and water, break the bonds, and turn it into the same molecules that we make in the salt water of our cells. And that process is patented. Now, for 12 years now, we've been patenting different things, but as you know, patents are public information. So strategically, what we've chosen to do lately is, instead of apply for additional patents, we've just filed this new learning under intellectual property. So we are moving forward very strategically, protecting the proprietary nature of our incredible redox technology, which is encapsulated in the liquid that we drink, the Renew 28 that we put on topically, and the serum that we also put on topically. So the event, we also had Gina Anson talk about marketing and what's going ahead in that department, which is expanding all the time. And Tyler wrapped up the event with a real description of what MLM has been and what NLM could be. And so really bringing old world network marketing tactics into new world possibilities. And so I know that Bo has looked very carefully at a screen that Tyler worked from during his parting talk. And Danny, I'm sure you saw the Envision event, even though you're down in Panama. But let's talk about that, because it was just so eye-opening. And a lot of people in the world, first of all, a lot of people don't even know what multi-level marketing is or network marketing is. But if people do have an idea of what multi-level marketing is, many people have a kind of a weird idea of what it is because of the way the company or the product has been presented to them. And so Tyler challenged us to really change our paradigm from multi-level marketing and the kind of the concepts that revolve around that into NLM, is what he's calling it, new level marketing, and really imagining what new level marketing could be. So Bo, Danny, let's unveil this a little bit, and in the time that's remaining, talk about taking ASEA from the old paradigms of multi-level marketing into the new paradigms of new level marketing.
Next level marketing.
Next level.
Can I share this screen really quick, Cindy?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's see if it comes up all right. You tell me.
Yes, we can see it perfectly.
Perfect, perfect. I love new level marketing too, Cindy, by the way.
That's just you sucking up to Cindy. Okay.
That's perfect. And just quickly, thank you so much for bringing up the foundation, because I really don't think we talk about the foundation enough. And we do a lot for a lot of people around the world. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's heartwarming to know that we're making a tiny little dent in the huge amount of things that need to be done in this world. But it's nice to contribute. There's so much more to do.
No doubt about it. I'll tell you what, I'll share first. There are a couple different sections of this that I really resonate with me. It all really resonates with me. The next level marketing I really like. And I think that it's really interesting the way Tyler closed it all up when he started comparing what one will do, one side of this screen, the left side of the screen, when you transfer your energy to the right side of the screen, how it'll actually produce more of what we seem to concentrate on the past. And in the past, as it says, number one, we were really in the convincing business. Now, we've always talked about being a sifting and sorting business, and that's what we want to be in. But when people are in sales, they believe they're in the convincing business and trying to get somebody to do something that they don't necessarily want to do, and you're going to convince them to do it. But as Tyler suggests here in next level marketing, we want to be convicted. And the more convicted we are, he believes, and I believe as well, the more convincing we will be. And being convicted in the, I mean, our technology is not on trial here today. ASEA is not on trial. And all we need to be is convicted in what we're doing and why. And I think we'll be far, far more convinced. When it comes to level number 2 here, it seems that back in the traditional way of multi-level marketing, we were all about the transactions, getting the transactions done. I mean, certainly a transaction is a result of our educational process and sharing these technologies with people. But what we need to concentrate far more on is transformations, transforming people from non-believers to believers, transforming ourselves and working on becoming more. This particular section reminds me a lot of one of my favorite trainings or thoughts by Simon Sinek, which is people don't buy what you sell, people buy why you're selling what you sell. Okay, people don't buy what you sell, they buy why you're selling it. And I'd say that Tyler was saying, you know, we must become more about transformations. Move from transaction business to a transformation business. And I'd suggest that while we're sharing or while we're selling ASEA, will be far more transformational if we're sharing why we're selling ASEA. Does that make sense? I think we can create far more transformation in people, and as well as bring them over to our way of thinking and resonate with them if we're building relationships with them, transforming their mind and opening their mind about the information that we're sharing with them, as opposed to trying to close the deal and create a transaction. Let's see. That's the first 2 for me. Danny, do you have anything for income versus become?
Yeah, I just in general, Bo, I just love how our founder, Tyler Norton, thinks outside of the box. I mean, to come up with this stuff is just, you know, it's out there. I mean, this is where their Fortune 50, their experience running big organizations come from, and they really bring in their experience and knowledge into our industry and literally taking it to the next level. So just incredible how he's compared literally multi-level marketing, you know, and how it I suppose it used to be. I mean, what is there on the left-hand side of the screen is literally last century, and what we're coming into and what he's bringing into it is literally where we are today and what we need to be talking about it and how we need to be conducting business. So just mind-blowing what he's done and how he's put this together. But that's Tyler Norton for you.
Yeah, you know, and Bo, if you think about, I don't know if anybody has had an Amway ambush put on them, where you asked your friend point blank, is this Amway? And they say, oh, no. And then you go to a meeting, and in the middle of the meeting, the person in the front of the room says, and so in Amway, and you think, well, wait a minute, I asked you a direct question, and here I am at a meeting, right? And so that I don't know if you have had that experience, but I certainly have had that experience, and I didn't appreciate it. And so what I did was that I piled every multi-level marketing company into that way of behaving because I didn't know any better. I just thought that that's what all network marketers did. And so I, as a result, had a really bad idea of what, you know, who network marketers were and what kind of companies did, you know, conducted themselves with a network marketing or multi-level marketing business plan. So if you think about some of the experiences that you've had in the past, some people have never had a multi-level marketing experience. Other people have had a bad multi-level marketing experience, and other people have had a really good multi-level marketing experience. But it's amazing how our experience in the past colors what our perception is of every other company that does business in that way, which is crazy because if you have a bad retail experience, you're probably not going to give up retail, right? If you have a bad wholesale experience, you're probably not going to give up wholesale. You're probably going to continue shopping at Costco and other places like that, and doing direct sales on the internet, buying directly from the company, as opposed to them paying advertising companies and things like that. So just because we've had a bad multi-level marketing experience does not mean that all multi-level marketing companies are bad. However, the more of all of us, our professional network marketing people, the more of us that adopt this ethos, bringing multi-level marketing mindsets into next level marketing mindsets, the more the rising tide is going to raise all ships, all companies in this industry. So I love what he's done, because if you really think of the extreme personalities that would behave in the way of the left column versus the kind of personality that would behave with the behaviors of the right column, you get a totally different vibe. And obviously the ASEA vibe is one of integrity and honesty and hope. So yeah, I love outlining this, just picking it apart piece by piece by piece.
Yeah, the ambush days are over. You know, part of my presentations, I say, you know, people used to come with me to me 10 years ago with Amway this way or that way, and I used to run the other way because of what has happened in the left-hand side of what we're looking at here. And, you know, these days we've got to be really, you know, it's a professional business model, and we've got to be proud of what we're involved in. I mean, this business model is now taught in all the universities throughout America. And there's 160 million people around the world involved, and you can't ignore that. I mean, it's just amazing. And knowing what I know, and this is what I say in my presentations too, coming from traditional business and coming from corporate, I would never go back to that, knowing what I know with what the opportunity is here at hand, especially now. It's just, this has just enhanced what we're talking about, and magnified it with the way Tyler's put this together, and talking about, you know, in that first line, coming from a convincing business, which people used to do, to more, you know, conviction. It's all about, you know, we know what we've got in our palm of our hands. Let's just give people the facts. Let's give them the information. Let them make an informed decision, and not be pushy about anything.
Yeah, you know, in today's world, people are looking for leadership. They're looking for people to follow. And I think if we look at the right side of this document here, those are the attributes as to what people would be looking for in someone to follow. So I think that we in ASEA, we can rest assured that we have leadership at the corporate level and at the field level that resonates with what's going on here on the right side of the screen. And we should be convicted about going out and sharing this, and not, the fear factor shouldn't be there if you're convicted about what we have and what we're doing and how we're really working as life happens for us as opposed to us. You want to just ride with these, what do you call them? Well, we'll call them attributes, and work on meeting people where they are and sharing this and being able to be compassionate, you know, doing things for others without expecting anything else in return. Hey, if you share ASEA with somebody and they're not into it now, they may be later, or they may tell someone else about it. So make sure that you're speaking from the heart.
So, Bo, one of the other things that Tyler has lined out here is optical versus actual. And he talks about the social media world that we live in, where people are posting these pictures and actually using special filters and all kinds of things to make themselves look even better than they actually do, as opposed to, you know, revealing some of the warts and wrinkles and realities that happen when you're striving to be, you know, the best you can be, and really doing what it takes to live your best life. That, you know, it's all, you know, there's a saying out there that Terry Latham says a lot, where, you know, you see the glory, but you don't know the story. You know, I mean, Alan Noble shows a picture of, you know, the very fancy car. And then when you look closely, you see the mechanic with his pants partway down his rear end, bending over with grease all over him, fixing the engine. So, you know, this is network marketing. And yes, it does take work, and you really have to figure out which company you're willing to struggle with. And it's not, you don't just go and talk to 3 people, have 3 people join and go diamond. That's not the way this business works. So he really emphasized optical versus actual. Let people know that this is not easy, but it is a great way of doing business, especially when you have a technology like we do with redox signaling molecules that no other company in the world has.
With a company that ticks every box as well, from their corporate leadership to the comp plan, to the breakthrough, to the ethos. I mean, we just tick every single box. So, I mean, as far as making it easy, it's not easy, but this is the easiest that it's going to be for anybody to actually do and get involved in it. C has taken network marketing to the best business model on the planet by far. Yeah,
absolutely. And the next one, it says get others to do something versus do something for others. There's a saying out there that says telling is selling. And so what we're teaching constantly in this business is learning how to ask questions and listen, which is very different than telling, and telling some more. We're asking questions and listening to if there's a way that a SIA can serve the person that we're speaking with. It's a very different take on our relationship with that person.
Yeah, and as individuals, you're right. I mean, you mentioned the word serve. It's a matter of becoming a servant leader to anybody you're talking to anybody that you're helping for your team. I always say at the end of a conversation, people thank me for that conversation or for that time, but end of the day, I say, my time's your time, which was my 6 words. I added one, my time is forever your time. So very important to concentrate on the person you're talking to and do everything that's in their best interest, and everything else will come for you guys later.
Now, one thing that sticks out here, and we don't have to go through each one of the points throughout this presentation, but one of them down there, the being valued and recognized is the old MLM. And I can tell you that from being in the corporate world for 25 years, that was the deal. If you weren't valued, if you weren't recognized because you were standing out and doing something, that people saw, then guess what? You were let go. And we're in a very, very cooperative environment here in network marketing or next level marketing. And I think that this, recognizing that you must add value. It's not about being valued. It's about adding value to the person you're across from so that they can believe in what you're saying. They could, adding value is what Cindy was talking about, asking the questions so that they can go through the process. You've already been through the process. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen instantaneously. So that's just my 2 cents on that particular one.
You're right with that. When you look back in history, and even now with these other companies, I mean, you can be terminated for not being active within a business, up on stage, doing presentations, which is just ridiculous, because if you've built a business to the point where you deserve to hang on to that business and pass it on to your family, there's no reason why. I mean, I remember when we attended the Global Advisory Council meetings, and Tyler would get up and literally point to Terry Latham, and knowing that he had children, saying, hey, Terry, we want you to put your feet up one day, not do the daily activity that you're doing, and pass this generational wealth onto your girls and onto your children's children. No other company would stand for that. I mean, but this company is totally different. They want us to get in a position where that daily activity is either we settle back, we can put our feet up, and we can actually pass this on to our family. And they're working on this being a generational company to be around for not just decades, but hundreds of years, which I absolutely love.
Absolutely. And I know, Danny, you and Bo and I definitely got on an airplane and flew into corporate in the very beginning days to make sure this wasn't hype, that it was really hopeful. I mean, we hoped it was the real deal, but we didn't necessarily trust that it was the real deal because it sounded too good to be true. I mean, how could you possibly find these incredible Fortune 50 people and have this incredible technology and marry it with a network marketing business model? I mean, how is this really real? We were so nervous that this was not what it appeared to be. And so we had to be there and look at the whites of their eyes and listen to them speak from their heart to see whether this was real or whether it was Memorex. And every single one of us came away from, wow, this is the real thing. And I don't know about you, but Bo and I went from, is this good enough for us, to, are we good enough for this? I mean, it was a huge paradigm shift. So yeah, when we know our job is to help people take a closer look at what a SIA really is, and then let go and let them make whatever decision is right for them. And one of the best ways to do that is to have some of these people who are looking at, evaluating a SIA, have them watch some of these Envision presentations that are given by our corporate leaders, because it's going to give them insight into who these people are and the philosophies that they practice when doing business.
Yeah, it gives me goosebumps hearing you say all that and reiterate that, because obviously with the company's ethos, it's fantastic that with what Tyler preaches in our ethos and principles and values and ethics and integrity, that it brings the right people into the business. And as you said, are we good enough for, what this is, this purpose-filled mission? Well, that's really the point of it. I mean, what we have is literally bigger than all of us and bigger than the company with what we've got in this purpose-filled mission. So just amazing the way the corporate leaders and the founders guide us with, bringing up these, incredible concepts, truths, and taking us from where we are in the last 50 years or last century into, where our technology is, where it's going, and putting these things on the table and getting us think, opening up our minds. Well, there's one there, opening minds. Yeah,
that's something I think we can all agree that we can get behind. It's not, you're not looking at this going like, yeah, I don't know. I tell you what, if you're here, I guarantee you it resonates with you. And the fact that Tyler put it all down on paper and went through the communication that he does to bring this to us is phenomenal. And it's a much, I don't know, a multifaceted way where we can all change and grow and become more. Really is.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need the Envision conference to know where we've got our hands on. I mean, every day, it's just an amazing ride, but this just reiterates the incredible opportunity we have in so many ways. And I know you're going to say this, Cindy. I'm going to say it too. Do not miss seeing the Envision conference. The recording's there, guys. Make sure you see it, because I'm not being biased, but I mean, Tyler Norton, for one, is the most incredible speaker that I have ever seen by far in my entire life. An amazing, amazing man. And a lot of other incredible speakers obviously joined the Envision conference, but you really need to hear the 4 hours of Envision and training, because it will take you, your mind, your mindset to a totally other level, well and truly.
Absolutely. One of the things Tyler said in his talk was, he said, you're never on trial if you're speaking about something that you truly believe. And so our goal as associates with ASEA in this, next level marketing business model is to show people our vision, to express our belief, to share what we feel about this company and this technology with others, and then see if they can get on the same page with us. See if they're already on the same page with us. See if this serves them in some way or not. And so once we believe, then our goal is to try to express our belief in a way that can serve the person that's in front of us. And so, and that's, of course, the challenge. Some people just can't see what we see, and some people aren't ready to see what we see, and that's okay. I mean, one of the things Tyler says in his talk is that when he's talking about raising his kids, he's got a bunch of kids. And he said, even with my children, one of the best things I can do is honor their agency. I don't know if you can think about a time where your mom or your dad tried to convince you to do something, but most of us rebelled, because nobody's going to tell me what to do, right? So it's no different with this company. Well, I know we're at the bottom of the half hour. I just wanted to take 2 seconds and just make sure that you all look into this cash fill promotion that was released during the Envision conference. It is one of the most exciting promotions I think ASEA has ever done, because it's so attainable for anybody who really wants to win some extra cash to go to Cashville, Tennessee, coming up in September. All you have to do is sponsor new people, and for every enrollment order that they purchase, you're getting points towards extra cash to go to accompany you when you go to the Nashville convention. So make sure that you look for that flyer and understand that promotion. It's not complicated. It's very straightforward. You sponsor new people, they enroll with new product, and you get points. You guys want to add anything to that?
I just think it's great that I'll go really quick. I just think it's great that basically what they're doing is they're paying us more money for building our business. They're just adding on to the pile. It's fantastic. It's not like something you've got to stretch for, or something that's unique and different that you don't know how to do already.
Yeah, they're very generous in giving, aren't they, with all their promotions? But just to let the guys know, there's a lot of people from around the world on this call. This is just for North America, this promotion, yeah. Canada and the US. But just keep checking out for your own promotions, guys, in your markets. For the guys in the US and Canada, go for it. It's there for the taking. Take it. The company wants you to take it.
Absolutely. Well, listen, we've come to the bottom of the half hour. The recordings for the North American Envision conference are available. If you don't know how to access those, go to the ASEA United Facebook page, go to our Atomic Wellness Facebook page. Maybe you got an email from ASEA corporate, which they sent out the access to the recordings. There are flyers that were sent out from corporate on the Cashville promotion. It's also in your back office if you're in the North American market. So there's no excuse for not knowing what's going on. If you don't know what's going on, reach out to somebody in your upline and have them fill you in. Don't try to struggle in the dark, and don't just try to ask questions on social media. Make sure you reach out to a leader in your upline and get the accurate information, as opposed to just listening to somebody online. So I want to thank you guys very much for joining us tonight. Very, very exciting times with ASEA, and it is only going to get better. So put your seatbelt on, open your mouth, but more importantly, listen to those around you, but reach out. Reach out. Now is the time to build your business, because you're going to get compensated with the promotion. And you do not want to go to Nashville, Tennessee in September flat-footed. The bigger net you cast right now, the bigger network that you create right now, the bigger the tribe that you attract right now, the bigger the benefits are going to be come September. So thanks so much for joining us tonight, you guys. Good night, everybody.